What causes retinal tears? Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Zach Oki. I'm a retina specialist here in Irvine, California. Retinal tears are caused by one event and one event only, and that is something called a posterior vitreous detachment, otherwise known as a PVD. A PVD involves the vitreous, which fills the entirety of the back of the eye, lining the retina, lining the lens in the front of the eye, separating away. And as it separates away, it pulls on the retina. And if it pulls hard enough, it will tear the retina and cause a lot of trouble, putting someone at risk of a retinal detachment, which is blinding. So the question about what causes retinal tears really stems from the question about what causes the gel to separate away from the retina spontaneously. Well, we've thought about this a lot. The gel is made mostly out of water, but about 2 or 3% of it is made out of connective tissue proteins. Things like elastin, chondroitin sulfate, fibrillin, opticin, collagen, etc. These connective tissue proteins age just like the rest of the body ages. If you look at someone who's like 50 years old and compare how they looked when they were a teenager, things have changed quite a bit, including the connective tissue. When you look at someone in their 50s and compare how they looked when they were younger, the skin is looser, the hair color changes, their wrinkles, etc. The bones change. These are all connective tissue things that happen, and the human vitreous in the back of the eye is no exception. It's not, especially not susceptible to these changes that occur over time. And in the case of the vitreous, it doesn't get wrinkles or gray hair or anything. It merely separates away from the retina as a function of the changes that occur over time. So if you follow that basic explanation, then you might say, wait a second, why isn't everyone getting a retinal tear then if a PVD is what causes a retinal tear? Well, not every PVD causes a retinal tear. In fact, the overwhelming majority do not. We estimate that of symptomatic PVDs, that is, people who see new flashes and floaters in the vision, which are symptoms consistent with a PVD, about 10 or 15% of people who have a symptomatic PVD have a retinal tear at the time of the first examination. Another important risk factor to discuss, that is with respect to the risk of developing a retinal tear, is myopia. Myopia refers to nearsightedness. That is, if someone's nearsighted, then without contacts or glasses, they can see pretty well up close, but they have a hard time seeing in the distance. And this reflects a certain anatomy of the eye. That is, the eye is longer than average. And because it's longer than average, the vitreous gel in the back of the eye is tighter. It's pulling harder on the retina during a PVD. And also the retina is thinner. It's a perfect setup for a retinal tear. And what happens if we find a retinal tear? Well, the goal is to find it,